been a while since I've done a repair video, and well, I figure I'll give you a two for one kind of a thing. I'll do a blog video and a repair video. I still plan to do a regular season of the repair videos, but yeah, this particular one here, this machine, the time cutter, has been a big headache for me. Today, replaced the yoke down here. That one's a little bent, so I ended up having to put the one that was reserved for the other side is when I got the right part on this side. So I don't know how that bent or why that bent, but it bent. I have a rough idea. And I also went back down here, replaced the valve cover. It's no longer leaking oil, which is a good thing. So that got fixed. However, in the process of taking care of the yoke, I went over to this tire, put grease in it, and realized something. I don't know if you can see this. Oops, kind of wavy. I don't know if you can see this, but it's basically, it's flat. There it goes. It's holding its structure very well, which is, so I don't know how long it's been flat. When I found it, it's right down the middle on like the mold seam, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to patch that with a, plug. So I'm just going to go and put a tube in it. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. All right, let's get started. As always, run out of room in the shop here. Seems like you never catch up to it. One of these days I'm actually going to work on that button. So, I want to have a heart-to-heart with you about some of the things I've learned about equipment in the landscaping industry. I used to think, pretty handy, I can fix anything. I can. Okay, maybe not anything, but if I can't fix it, chances are it's broke. So that shouldn't be a huge factor or issue with having to deal with all the repairs and everything else. If something breaks, I'll just fix it. I wasn't prepared how much fixing I would be doing. That out. And as per usual, I can't find my decent tire irons, so I gotta use something else. My hand worked pretty good. What I found out was I'm spending more time repairing equipment right now than I am actually cutting grass and doing other things like quotes and stuff like that. Really got me rethinking about this idea of all this, well, old equipment. Maybe this wasn't such a great idea just to find stuff that was cheap. Now granted, I guess it was about trying to find what I can so I can get the job done. But buying a $500 mower probably was not the best idea in the world. I mean, if all I was doing was cutting my own lawn, sure. When I'm out here sure glad I greased that right before I started. When I'm out here trying to cut everybody else's lawn and find a problem and then having to go ahead and get that problem fixed by tomorrow because that's when I need the mower again, it just doesn't do very much justice. So I definitely need to get that button up and going so I have some kind of backup equipment. That'll probably be the backup equipment to the button, which would be this. But I need to have something else going besides the one mower, because I almost didn't get an inner tube. Oh, that worked out well. So I went over online. And looked up Home Depot. They didn't have any in stock. I didn't run out to Menards. I kind of didn't want to go that far. So I went out to Lowe's and got some things. I saw this. I will still be looking for a zip tie tomorrow because I won't know what the heck I did with these. They had one too. I usually don't get the ones that are, puncture resistant or whatever, but that's all they had on the shelf. It was the last one they had on the shelf for this tire. So I got it. Typically, I'm able to catch these things soon enough to be able to order the parts or whatever else needs to be ordered before having to, there we go, before having to go ahead and, let me bring it back down. So usually I'm able to order the parts before I actually need them. Otherwise I typically have extra parts sitting around because I know something's going to go or blow. I suspect it beforehand. This time around, not quite so fortunate. This may have been flat for a while. It hasn't been cutting well for a while, so I thought when I saw the yoke, I thought that was the issue. That might be what attributed to the yoke issue, is the tire going flat. And me just not seeing it, because the sidewall surprisingly held up fairly well. How a lot of these things, how difficult it is to get parts right now. And everything else. It's, well, go. It's something really to take note of and to watch and keep an eye on. what I'm going to be doing with the Toro here is just, well, keeping it going. Doing what needs to be done. Not trying to do anything extra. You know, this spring I went and put all new well, not all new tires, but new tires on the back of it. It had tires on it from the fall, so man, using these monster tire irons on this thing is not working out very well. So I think with this Toro, we're just going to keep it going while we save a little bit of cash and look at getting a new lawnmower. I'm not too confident with how the button is going to work out in the future. I was kind of trying to hold out a little bit, see if I can manage to get an electric one, but then it comes in with just having enough batteries for that to make it work. So in essence, yeah, all this really old equipment hasn't been such a great idea. I kind of wish I would have waited a little while. You gotten something a little bit in better condition at least. Maybe not necessarily something brand new, but something in a little nicer condition. I think a new mower is going to be prioritized. Among the system here. I am really fed up with messing with this tire. So hopefully I didn't puncture that inner tube. That doesn't sound good. Yeah, so when I figure out if I did this or if I didn't do this, and then I'm going to end up having to return the tube and have to find another tube, because, well, this was the only one they had. Oh, bother. So, what I'd like to be doing tomorrow is mowing, and I don't want to be sitting here fixing a tire, so I can do that. customer contact me earlier this week when I was on vacation. Wanting to get her lawn mowed tomorrow. Instead of Friday. So, option B with this is the core aerator has the same size wheels on the back of it. So I could take one of the tires off the core aerator, or I could take the tube too. It's got tubes in it. And pop that in here. And just go put a new tube in the core aerator. Alright, another option is to put a patch on it, now that I've identified the hole. And just let her go, let her roll. Alright, but needless to say, I'm rethinking my perspective on old equipment and using it in my business. Don't get me wrong, I still love the old equipment. I still enjoy working on it. But having to deal with being here late at night trying to fix a tire and now having to patch an inner tube, things get a little crazy and difficult. So now I gotta figure out a patch and put this tire back on. Hopefully everything can get put back together tonight so I can actually use this tomorrow. Alright, well, we'll see what happens. Okay, it's now about 5:15 a.m. I've been working on this all night. My wife wonders, what do you do all night long? The answer, honey, I'm running a business. I'm trying to keep the business going. So, come on. There we go. So, I can't find my nut. I hate it when I lose my nuts. So ultimately this got solved. I now need a new inner tube for the core aerator. But as soon as I found the nut, I thought I just had in my hand, I can get this all put back together and there it is. grab my ratchet. So, whoa, that didn't sound good. Fell on top of that. I think we're okay. So, that's my thought on old equipment. Don't go too old, otherwise you'll be up all night trying to get things to work. This is definitely not what I signed up for. Ow. So, I totally get buying brand new equipment now. Yeah. So I think that I'm just going to kind of tick this thing along, and we will replace it as soon as we get the funds with something semi-newer. In the meantime, this is really kind of getting me itching to get the button going a little bit quicker after I order a new inner tube for the core aerator. And possibly, definitely look into getting a commercial mower. So, that's all I got for you for right now. I'll see you next time.
Wondering, you probably weren't, but in case you were, the mower actually worked flawlessly today. It did not mohawk like it's been doing in the past, and tire held up. So overall, I guess it's a win. It's doing well, but it hasn't changed my mind. I think I need to start process of replacing it. Other thing to note too is this is the first time I've edited a video on this new computer, and it's running Windows 11, and it's not doing so hot. Windows is keeping up with its tradition of every other operating system being junk. So that being said, I actually ended up having to buy new software in order to run it because Windows 11 doesn't run Adobe Premiere Elements 11 like I was using before. And so I had to upgrade to Adobe 2020, so hence the cool new effects. The effects actually work in this, which is kind of interesting. Um, they hadn't worked in the last version. I don't know if it's just because my computer was so old and junky or whatever, but they're working fairly well in this one. So, I mean, I'm even able to do this video right here in Adobe Premiere Elements 2022. So, that being said, I'll see you next time.